Planet Life LDC, and I'm here trying to think about what it's going to be like this fall and winter when the weather gets cooler. And you can see I did another hat, and yes, I finished my Kaffe's glorious, fabulous, colorful scarf. But the main event today is to talk about Rowan's new Nordic collection by Arne and Carlos. So I hope you'll get yourself a cup of tea and or your drink of choice and join me while we have a look at this book. So the new Nordic collection by Arne and Carlos uses felted tweed and kid silk haze, probably Rowan's two #1 favorite yarns of everybody. I know they're favorites of mine. I already showed you the new shades, that the 8 new shades that Kaffe picked out this year to add to the felted tweed range, so you can see how nice and bright they are. And the kid silk haze range has added a few shades also, and I'll just show them to you now. So the first one is 685 Laguna. It's an absolutely beautiful blue. Then comes shade 684, and it's called Eve Green. And this is an absolutely fabulous shade, and look at those two shades together. Aren't they gorgeous? The third shade is called Golden Poppy. Beautiful orange, golden orange shade. And the last one is to commemorate, I'm assuming, the Rowan 40th anniversary, Ruby. Aren't they beautiful? So with the whole Kid Silk Haze color range, in combination with the felted tweed color range, you can see you've got some great combinations either to combine Kid Silk Haze and felted tweed and knit one of those fabulous, just beautiful little cozy sweaters using the two yarns together, or some interesting combinations for the new Nordic collection. And I know I've been putting off, but we're going to get to that right now. Rowan has a certain style and a format for their publications. This one is different, and it reflects the Nordic background of Arne and Carlos, and I'm hoping maybe if Arne and Carlos do more collections that they'll keep up this design. It's a bigger format book than some. It starts off with a nice picture of the two guys themselves. Do you watch them on YouTube? I must admit I watch them all the time. They put out a weekly video, usually on Sunday. And they say, our designs are based on our Scandinavian history, heritage, and culture, and have been updated with a modern twist. And I agree, they're updated with a modern twist, but I get a serious retro vibe in the styling of the outfits in this book. So it's quite a juxtaposition, modern and retro at the same time. The first design is called Gris, and I will what I'll do is I'll put big pictures in here as I speak about the design. It's done in 2 shades of felted tweed. I love the yoke pattern. It's very simple but effective, and the neckline seems quite wide, so the rib pulls it in. Quite like that. One thing about this book is you see the pattern, main pattern picture, and on the next page there's another picture, but there is the actual pattern. None of this flipping back to the back to find out where the patterns are. Both the English and the German version are following the photographs of the picture. And one thing I really like are these little Nordic track patterns along the bottom of each page. it gives it it just gives it a nice little Nordic vibe that I quite like. So Gris is considered to be a 4-star pattern. It's knit in the round, and the sleeves are attached to the body before you make the yoke. So I'm not sure why it's 4 stars, but actually in this case it's 4 snowflakes. Look, they're snowflakes. I'm going to call them snowflakes, not stars or dots. The second pattern is called Olaf. It's felted tweed and kid silk haze, and this big graphic statement sweater, they're all the rage. I've seen them in a lot of watching a lot of the catwalk designs for the fall and winter. You'll see I think this is very retro styling. The big loose pants, a little bit cut short, little hem showing there. I don't know, my 70s, and I'm even just her hair and everything makes me think it's retro. So the body of the sweater's in felted tweed, and the emblem, the big snowflake, is done in kid silk haze, and the kid silk haze is always used double. So it's alabaster, felted tweed, and peacock kid silk haze in the original. The third design is Dagny, and it's a cowl. It uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades of kid silk haze. You do use them doubled. And Hurricane Majestic Abraham. It uses the new golden poppy, the orange, new golden poppy. But of course, you can come up with your own combination. You need 3 balls of the main shade and 1 of each of the others. So you could come up with your own colorway for that. The big thing about this is it says to cast on loosely and cast off very loosely. And you know, there's no give in kid silk haze, so you would be really be mindful of that you must cast on and off loosely. Tuva only has 3 snowflakes. I say only because the first design, Gris, had 4 snowflakes. But Tuva to me is a more challenging knit because you start at the base of the sweater, the front hem edge, you knit up, you add stitches for the sleeves, you shape the neck, you go up and over the neck and sleeves, back down, get rid of the sleeve stitches and knit down. And so you join your underarms seams, you knit the neckline, and you pick up and knit for the cuffs. So I think that's pretty challenging. I would be challenged by that, but obviously very doable. It's a very nice graphic design that repeats throughout the whole body. But there's a picture of the schematic. So very simple shape. And I guess I thought originally it was a dolman sleeve. It's not a dolman sleeve, but it is a very, very wide sweater. It's extreme positive ease. So for example, the 34 inch size, which is the smallest size, bust size, the finished circumference would be 55 inches. So that is 20 inches of positive ease. But that's what gives you that look. The next design is called Freya. It's knit in felted tweed and kid silk haze. Well, actually, it says that right here. Freya, felted tweed and kid silk haze. But when you flip over and you get to the pattern, it's actually 4 shades of felted tweed. There is no kid silk haze in this, so that's just an error in the cover page of the design. It is knit in pieces and sewn together, and it has an interesting chart. I'm squinting my eyes to look at the chart, and that's where you can see the X, sort of an X and O pattern coming out there. Love the colors that are used in this one, Freya. And again, look at the styling, you know, sort of it looks like velveteen pants and the boots with the chunky heel. I must be showing my age here, eh? Then comes Ingrid, felted tweed and kid silk haze. Ingrid. Look at those wide, again, here I am back on the clothes. Look at those wide denim pants and the boots and the big shirt with the bow on it. How, you know, 70s, total 70s look here. I love this one also. I love the big cuffs on it and the strong ribbing edge on the bottom and the all over pattern with the striped background. It uses felted tweed clay and maritime, and then kid silk haze candy girl held double throughout. So this is telling me that you can use in any pattern that uses felted tweed, if you want to put a little bit of bling into your, like, because kid silk haze is a little bit of bling. If you want to put a little bit of bling into the pattern, substitute kid silk haze for one of the felted tweed colors, and you can have some texture to your patterning. Don't know how to say this, but it's Ivor, felted tweed and kid silk haze mittens. Again, total 70s big brimmed hat. So, vintage. Am I killing this whole vintage thing? I'm just beating it to death. The sample here is knit in alabaster, felted tweed, and romance kid silk haze, also used double throughout. And that's a 3 snowflake pattern also. And I love this one. It's called Emblem. Uses kid silk haze throughout. That little scalloped design. It uses 5 shades of kid silk haze. Easy, totally easy to recolor this to your take on colors. Knit in pieces and sewn up. Raglan set in raglan sleeves. Noren is a long cowl. It uses felted tweed only, and it uses shades from the Kaffe collection, the electric green and the Barbara shades, along with clay and sea salter. It's a 44 stitch pattern repeat. The finished cowl is 55.5 inches around, so if you wanted to make a smaller circumference, you could easily adjust it with that 44 stitch repeat pattern. Svanhild. Now that is 70s, right? Look at that headband. That makes me think of a picture. One time, Lady Diana, she's been in the news because of her son getting married and everything, but they keep dredging up poor Lady Di. But I remember seeing a picture of her skiing in Switzerland somewhere, either Switzerland or French Alps, you know, where all the fancy skiers go, and she had a big headband like that on, big woven headband. So this is all done in kid silk haze, 3 different colors. It's 1 ball of each, and I'm thinking that, I wonder, would it actually use 1 ball of each? Makes me want to knit it up just to see what it comes out like and see how much yardage is actually used. The next one is called Solveig, and it is felted tweed and kid silk haze, and it's the hat that I chose to knit. And you can see I did not use the same colors. Actually, I had it written down, but I've forgotten to bring that with me. It's the blue, it's duck egg blue, I know that for sure. And I think the kid silk haze is pearl. Looks like it might be pearl. And you can see the Kid Silk Haze does not have the same stretch as the felted tweed. So when you're doing your stranded work with the Kid Silk Haze, you must make sure that you stretch it out and leave it very loose on the inside. Not very loose, but loose enough on the inside. And you can see mine. I haven't washed this yet. It might grow a little bit in washing. Have I washed it yet? I don't think I have. But anyway, I knit this exactly to the pattern. It's more, I would say it's more of a beanie style, because when I put it on, I've got my hair up. When I put it on, it fits right down on the head. I sort of like it like this, with the brim down. I tend to like hats that have an increase from the rib to the body, and then they give you more of a slouch. That's my personal preference, but this is a lovely hat, and I've already got a recipient lined up for this hat. So back to the design. Solveig, 2 snowflake design. It was the cover picture, so you know it's a cute design. And the sample here is done in Watery and Kid Silk Haze shade Aura, 1 ball of each. Kid Silk Haze used doubled, of course. The last design is called Ragna, and this is a cute idea. Felted tweed and Kid Silk Haze, and it's a little shoulder warmer, a stranded knit shoulder warmer. So it goes across the back of your shoulders, and it's basically just 2 sleeves joined by a piece across the back. Great thing about this, I'm thinking right away, if you've got, like, people don't wear so much outfits that are strictly summer, strictly winter, you might have a beautiful sleeveless dress that you absolutely love that you'd like to wear in the winter. Well, knit yourself up a Ragna to go over your shoulders and keep you warm, and do one specifically for the dress so that it really fits right into the color combination. Ragna is a 3 snowflake design also, and it uses Seafarer, clay, and avocado. This colorway is Seafarer, clay, and avocado with Kid Silk Haze jelly. Kid Silk Haze jelly is one of my favorite colors. Look at it on the shade card. Jelly is right beside the new Eve Green. Well, actually, look at that one too. Alhambra. Look at those combinations together. You know, these new bright shades of Kid Silk Haze, you can make absolutely gorgeous, just striped shawls, or like make your scarf big, make it like a shawl. And I think it's much more useful that way rather than just a scarf. But you could make beautiful combinations of these colors to give you an intense pop of color. So check them out in your yarn store because they're absolutely gorgeous. So I would say that that is it for this book. Another little Nordic tweak. The colors of the yarns are done in these little squares with the outline around them, the little graphic pattern. Just cute little things that make this design collection, the publication of this design collection, stand out from the normal Rowan publication. But it's Rowan, and maybe it's just Arne and Carlos using their Nordic inspiration for their design collection. I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Arne and Carlos new Nordic collection, and that my thoughts on it might clarify for you whether this collection is for you or not. I think it might be. So until next time, happy knitting.